Warm it up and serve it to me. That's not something I've ever said.
Ooh.
Thank you. It is time.
She's been here for a long time today, people. The My Talkies this morning. Brittany is...
Yeah, check out the video. It's on this same page. So we did the My Talkies draft. Oscar noms came out, people.
Almost as important as the My Talkie nominations. But,
right,
you know, it's
right,
fine.
Right below the My Talkies. A lot of the things you go, that seems obvious. I'll go through Best Picture. We have Anora, The Brutalist, The Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked.
How many of those have you guys seen?
One.
Mike?
I'm trying to think. I think two. Let's see here.
1.5 because I started The Substance.
That
I
counts.
remember the list. No, it's just one for me too. Yikes.
One for me.
Oh, two. Dune Part 2.
I was going to say you said Dune as well.
Dune as well.
One for me.
But thank God, and this is like where it should be trending, that Wicked made it in.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen. Very true. It's not, nothing's guaranteed with the Oscars. We know that.
No, and like that's what happened. There was a big backlash. What was the movie we always talk about that made the big difference?
Black Panther?
Yes. Where it was like, this movie is so good and everyone loves it, but
It's not cultured enough for you.
the snubbing of it
Snobs?
all. So it was like, okay, well, thank goodness Wicked made it in there without making up a new, that's what the Golden Globes did, is they make up a new blockbuster
Category.
for the idea that we like can't leave these out. So Wicked did make it in. Well, it won't win, I promise you.
No.
Because like everyone's far too above voting for Wicked for Best Picture. Let's see who won at who won at the Golden Globes?
Golden Globes, we got to find that here. Was it Amelia Perez?
I want to say so.
And I do, by the way, if we want to dig into it, I do have the Vegas odds-on favorites for all of the categories that have been announced. The Brutalist.
The Brutalist.
Was the
Brutalist, yeah.
drama motion picture winner for the Golden Globes.
Yeah, and then
Now, Amelia Perez did win for musical or comedy motion picture.
Okay.
that's it. And then Wicked won
and
the
Zoe
blockbuster.
Saldana, there was a lot of winning happening.
Yeah, and Demi Moore won for The Substance for actress. So it's across the board. I think there's a lot of. Oh, tell us what the odds are, Mike, because I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I'm a big Vegas guy, so I like to look at and see, okay, what are the Vegas? Because, again, they're the ones who win and lose money when it comes to betting on these things, and you can absolutely bet on who's going to win Oscars, so they do a really good job. Best Picture odds, this is from FanDuel Ontario. They've got The Brutalist as a minus 140 favorite, which means you'd have to bet $140 to win $100. More simply put, it's about a 60% implied odds. So they're saying there's a 60% chance The Brutalist will win. Amelia Perez, about a 23% chance. And then you've got Anora at 19%, Conclave at 16%. A big drop down before Wicked at 5%.
Wow.
There's some of the movies that get nominated every year. I go, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't really heard anything about I'm Still Here until nomination season happened. And I was like, oh, what's this movie that I didn't hear any promotional anything about, and now it's getting nominated for things.
I'm going to be very vulnerable. I hadn't heard of Amelia Perez at all until the Golden Globes. And I was like, wait, it's a musical? Didn't know.
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
No,
That's what I mean. Like,
right.
I was
I
like,
knew Selena Gomez was in a movie.
yes, exactly. And I'm like, I did not know that.
It's one of those Netflix ones. And actually, if you want to look at studios as well, Netflix led the way studio-wise with
Really?
16 nominations. A24 was next behind Netflix with 14 nominations, Universal 13, and then Focus Features had 12.
Wow.
Yeah, Netflix really killing the game.
Who would
They
have
have
thought?
in the past too, though, haven't they? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they usually do pretty well.
The last few years.
Last few years, they've thrown a lot of money at making sure they're in the award conversation. And what was it? Bradley Cooper had the one last year where he was the conductor.
Off of Leonard
Yep.
Cohen,
Leonard Bernstein,
the composer.
Was that just what it was called? Yeah, I don't know.
Something like that. I can't think. That was a great movie, by the way.
Look at us. I'm like,
everyone's
that's
saying-
Maestro.
Maestro.
I
I was like, I know it's something.
That's not right.
But
Yeah,
that was,
a great
another,
movie.
I think that was another Netflix. Yeah, that was a Netflix one as well. So yeah, they've been in the conversation for quite some time. Do you want to look at any of the other odd winners or
Guys,
odds?
by the way, Netflix being like, look at me, we can be taken seriously.
I know.
Too, okay? We can be
Well,
serious actors and actresses.
It's fun to watch this because it wasn't very long ago that they had to make the rule to even include streaming.
Sure.
You know, they're like, if it has to be this many days in theater. I mean, I know there's still a lot of those rules around there, but they've changed the landscape so much.
True. Yeah, give us some odds.
Let's go to Best Actor.
Okay.
So that's the next one here listed out. This is from BetMGM in the UK. Adrian Brody is up for it. Do we go through Adrian Brody? You got Timothy Chalamet. You've got Ray Fiennes, and then Coleman Domingo and Sebastian Stan, which is kind of ironic because Sebastian Stan was up for the Golden Globe for A Different Man. That is the movie where he had all the prosthetics. He was playing that individual that had the face. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly
it's based off a true story.
It's based on a true story.
Yeah.
This one was actually a nomination for The Apprentice, where he had the portrayal of Donald Trump, from a young Donald Trump. So Sebastian Stan up for a Golden Globe for one movie, up for an Oscar for a different movie, which
That's a
is very
flex.
rare to see.
All right, Kendall and I need to guess at first.
Yes, please.
Who do you think Vegas is favoring?
I think Adrian Brody because he won the Golden Globe.
I'm going to say, I mean, that's great. I'm sure you're right, but then I'll go Timothy Chalamet.
Next time we turn it into a guessing game, I'll make sure to random them up because I actually just did them in order. So Adrian Brody was the odds-on favorite. Now, I will say this is, I guess, about the same. He is minus 200, so that's a 66% implied probability of winning. Timothy Chalamet, 33.3. So a pretty massive. They're basically saying it's one of those two.
Yeah.
So again, that is for Best Actor. Best Actress, we've got Carla Sofia Gascon from Amelia Perez. You got Cynthia Erivo from Wicked, Fernanda Torres from I'm Still Here, Mikey Madison from Enora, and Demi Moore for The Substance.
All right, Kendall.
Thoughts on this one?
Oh, okay, well, can we, this is the epitome of whoa, I did not see this one coming
I
for
know.
a lot of reasons. I want to say Demi Moore just because, again, she won an award already.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Carla Sofia Gascon because Amelia Perez, everybody's been talking about it.
I think that that's a really good guess, and a part of me was going to pick that. But if you're going to go that route, I'm going to go way other side and go mainstream and go Cynthia Erivo because I think you have to give Wicked something.
They'll get something for either sound or music. They will not get anything in here because you just picked the two longest shots.
That's funny.
cool.
Both
great.
Carla and Cynthia are plus 1,400, which,
Hey, we
if
could
you want
make money.
Exactly.
Is it Demi?
$100 bet's going to turn into 1,400 if you win that one. Demi Moore, minus 150. She is absolutely the odds-on favorite there. Another about 60% implied odds there. Mikey Madison for Enora is next, and then Fernanda Torres from I'm Still Here.
Only because we are talking about this category. This was where I feel like we all saw the most snubs.
Yes, let's talk about the snub of it all.
Angelina Jolie, everybody was talking about her because her portrayal of Maria Callas and Maria, that was what, I mean, she learned how to sing. She gives, I haven't seen it, but she gives this incredible performance. Like everybody was talking about her.
Yeah, in that same category we have, and I don't know if this one counts as much because of, but the acting alone, people are saying that Nicole Kidman was great in Baby Girl. Does the plot have major plot holes that really kill female boners? Yes. But as acting, if we literally look at Nicole Kidman was very good in this, people say that she was very good in Baby Girl. There was another female also as well, Pamela Anderson, not getting a nomination for the Las Vegas Showgirl.
That was one.
Last Showgirl.
That was that one, and then Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Also not getting anything.
And of course, the one that we always forget happened this year, Zendaya.
The Challengers.
The Challengers.
So good.
And maybe that is just the curse of having a movie come out so early in award season. Is that didn't come up in our award shows either, like the My Talkies.
No, because everybody's like, oh yeah, that was last year.
That was this year.
I know. Okay, best supporting actor. Or wait, yeah.
Yep. We got actor and actress, best supporting. That's the only ones we have odds on so far, or odds available to us. So you've got Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain, from Enora. You've got Yura Borzov.
Yeah.
You've got Jeremy Strong from The Apprentice, another one that's up for The Apprentice. A movie that, again, in awards season, we got some love from Film Fest crowd. That's another thing about Enora is like that was one that was just a critical darling. Everyone at the Film Fest loved Enora, but we didn't really see much of it at the Golden Globes. We didn't see much of The Apprentice at the Golden Globes. Now we're seeing those movies get a little bit more recognition here at the Oscars. Edward Norton from A Complete Unknown and Guy Pearce from The Brutalist. Those are your supporting actors.
I will say the first time I heard the word Enora, I was like, oh, is this a new Star Wars thing? It does. It sounds like a Star Wars.
No, it's funny because the reason I laugh is like, you're not wrong.
Like, what is the one? Isn't it Andorra? Like, there is one that's super
There's a planet that's like super close to that.
Oscar, or because then there, what is that one that was just recently?
I don't know. Yes,
I
I know what you're talking about.
My bet on Best Supporting Actor, and this is not an original thought, is Kieran Culkin. It seemed like it was such a shoe-in at the Golden Globes, and I just feel like this is going to hold true. Which is awkward because I feel like him and Jeremy Strong against each other since they were brothers in Succession. It's always awkward, but I do feel like Kieran Culkin seems to be the one that would be the best odds.
I haven't seen it. It's just everything that I've read on this movie. I have to see it. I'm going to go with Guy Pearce in The Brutalist.
All right. Well, when it comes to supporting, it is Kieran Culkin, and it is not close.
Really?
This is the biggest favorite by far on these early lists, minus 1,000, which again means if you bet $10, you would win $1.
Okay.
That's how confident they are that is going to be happening. So if you want to take that risk, 90% implied probability. And I will also say it's not much different when we get to supporting actress.
Is it?
Supporting actress, you've got Felicity Jones, you've got Isabella Rossellini, you've got Monica Barbaro, you've got Ariana Grande, and you've got Zoe Saldana. What do you guys think?
Ding, ding, ding. Zoe it up. It's got to be Zoe.
If you're telling us it's somebody that it's just like a
obvious,
it's got to be Zoe Saldana.
If anyone would maybe have a huge upset and get Wicked some love, Ariana Grande is second on this list.
Yeah.
But a very distant second. Zoe also minus 1,000 from an odds standpoint. Again, a 90% probability of winning.
Here's why I think Ariana should win. And again, this is coming from somebody who's not seen enough of these movies. Because Ariana Grande, in my mind, is they were both like almost neck and neck for being stars of this movie. Her little nuances, her reactions to Cynthia. Like, yes, Cynthia, like per word or, enough more songs.
Right. Yep.
It felt like Cynthia's movie and Ari. But they were very close to both being co-stars in this, in my mind.
And she brought a lot of empathy to that role that I haven't seen in any of the iterations that I've seen of Wicked. And I feel like I've seen like 5 or 6 of them. Yeah. And she brought a point and a piece and a view to it that you go, I actually understand you in a way that I never have as anyone portrayed the character before of Glinda.
Yes, there was a softness for sure, which I think the movie needed to be even more complex.
Yeah.
That was a very delicate balance with that character. You can go over the top either direction very easily, and she played it, I think, absolutely as perfect as you could.
So well.
A really cool thing that came out from this year's nomination is we had an Oscar history as the first openly trans actress to earn a nomination, as we talked about Amelia Perez, Carla Sofia Gascon, and I mean, win or lose, you go, wow, after 97-year history, the Oscars, and this is our first nomination for an openly trans actress, is pretty cool.
That is really
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah. People are talking to, they're actually surprised at how well, again, because of the concept of the Oscars are rarely going to hit on some of the blockbuster movies, is Wicked did get a lot of love. And they were quite popular in the old nomination roles.
Popular.
Let's see. I'm trying to find all the nominations.
Well, there was set, correct? Costume.
Yep.
Film. The 2 actresses.
Yeah.
That's at least 5 right there.
Yeah. And let's see. Gosh, I should have found a better article because, of course, it goes into detail. I'll find the actual.
Amazing.
It is pretty cool. Like, you go, all right. That's why, like, we did create the My Talkies at My Talk. We're like, we kind of wanted to reflect actually what's happening in the landscape of film.
Film editing was another one that they were up for, and then original
sound,
score. Yeah.
Visual effects. Gosh, actually, they're up for almost everything.
Yeah, I was like, I know there's a better
When you
list
go
than the terrible
scrolling through
article.
this, yeah. It's pretty incredible now that you mention it. I just didn't notice before.
So yeah, I mean, Wicked is definitely getting some love. I don't think the funny thing is it's like rare that a movie like that even needs it because it's kind of cool. Is like the Oscars do showcase movies maybe we wouldn't have looked at. Wicked doesn't necessarily need the love, but I do think it's just a nice reflection of what's actually happened when these movies that are this massive do well.
Now, going into the year, and actually the last few months of the year, 2 movies we thought for sure were going to be in the running for a particular category were Moana 2 and Mufasa, The Lion King. Neither in the animated feature film category. We've got Flo, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Revenge Most Foul, and The Wild Robot.
You guys, The Wild Robot comes out in like a couple days on Peacock.
Oh, okay.
We all need to watch it.
Everyone loves it.
I heard it's amazing.
It's so cute. Am I going to cry?
Yes.
Oh, it's exhausting crying.
I watched the trailer and cried. I don't remember what movie. It must have been Moana 2. When I went to that, I was like, oh.
You know me.
I know. You're up.
Waterworks.
We'll lose that boy in a second.
That's cute. I love the animated feature part because a wide variety of people have at least seen one of these movies. When it comes to that. That's always fun. You guys remember the year that The Way of Water won like everything?
Yeah.
Every single person went, what? And then they watched the movie and still went, what?
Yes.
So thank God that we've got at least, there are several movies in this that many people will have seen.
Yeah.
Which just... Oscars, thank you for like catching the vibe, reading the room.
And like A Complete Unknown, I feel like it's one of those ones that when they come out so close to the Oscar time, it's hard to get a real read. But Real Humans, including Donna Valentine, people have seen it, are just like, this movie is so good.
And people love Nosferatu, that's in there.
Yes.
I mean, there's several movies that people have talked about that we don't go, like, I don't know what half of these are.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, I love the Oscars. So it'll be fun. When do the Oscars even go down? It's
March 3rd.
All right.
My sister texted and she was like, okay, I want to do something this year that we've never done before. And I was like, what do you want to do? And she's like, I want to try to watch all the movies. We don't have to do it all together.
Good luck.
But like, let's try, hey, this week we're going to watch this. I don't know. I'm like, I think that's kind of a cute idea. So that and then you do a little Oscar party. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the I've always wanted to either host or just attend an Oscar party, but I can't have people talking. Like, and so I don't really know if I'm Oscar party material. Like, I love...
Brittany, you like those people that are like, I actually want to watch the game during the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Like,
don't do Super Bowl parties.
You know, I then just don't do it, you know?
I know.
Don't
but like,
ruin the fun.
can I be on a text chain with you guys?
Sure.
Cool. Like, I want to be...
Virtually join. So then you just put them on mute when you're like, or somebody else is, or Conan's talking here, because of course Conan O'Brien could be hosting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just text me. You know I'm really good at answering, so.
Oh, yeah. Can I have Chloe's number? I think
my
that'll be more
specialty.
helpful. All right, I'll just text your mom.
It's fine.
Okay, this is the craziest story that came out. Benedict Cumberbatch. Now, this is from 20 years ago. He's retelling a story of something that happened to him 20 years ago.
Okay.
He mentions, talking about a near-death experience, he said that while he was filming To the Ends of the Earth in 2004, he was in South Africa, and he was kidnapped and robbed by 6 men in South Africa. He said the incident occurred after a diving excursion with friends, and their group ended up with a blown tire standing there on the side of the road. And it got pretty bad when somebody forced him into a vehicle, and they drove around for several hours. He was tied up and forced to sit execution style, and which
Sorry,
allowed
I've
the
never had
robbers-
to sit execution style. Can someone explain to me what that means?
I think it's usually with your knees on the ground, hands behind your back.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
I needed help. Ex-military.
Yeah, I've never forced anybody in that position. I was a medic. I cannot make that more clear. I've never also had to be in that position.
But
So, just like that was not from my combat
Thank you for the
experience.
visual.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And he literally said that he has changed after that. Like there's a bookmark in his life from before and after that. He thought he was going to die.
Oh, yeah. If somebody kidnaps me, puts me in the back of a van in a foreign country, and sits me execution style, I'm thinking I'm going to die too.
Yeah. Isn't that so crazy? I'm like,
I'd pee for sure. I'd be a puddle of pee.
I don't even know if I could pee. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It just would happen for me.
I don't even know what my body would do at that point.
You'd pee.
Maybe poop. I don't
Maybe.
know. Yeah.
I'd definitely puke.
Oh my God. The idea. Yeah. It was just one of those stories. I was like, this story coming out and while he was filming something. And I wonder if they knew who they were kidnapping or if it was just like, here's a person.
Here's a British guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think the most interesting part of this too is when he was like, and it made me really decide that I love to be afraid of things. Like, I'm sorry, that would not make me go that way.
No.
I'd be the opposite. I'd become a shut-in.
I'd be like Kim after she got robbed, where she's like, I don't want to be around anybody.
I want all the security, and I don't want anyone to ever know where I am, and I'm not leaving my house for 6 months.
Yeah, I would. Like I said, one time, this can't even compare this to it, but one time my house got broken into when I was in it, and I went full, I will never live in a place I feel unsafe ever again.
Yeah, he's like, I became an adrenaline junkie. Like,
No.
what?
Nope.
Like, you are just different.
I feel like that's like something happened to Orlando Bloom that also made him like that. Because he is Mr. Like, if I'm not trying to almost die, I'm not living. I'm like,
Not
sir,
alive.
you have kids.
Your children.
Like, what are you talking about?
No, it's wild.
Have you ever done like connections with a cup of coffee? Also fun.
Also really great.
It's a blast.
Oh my God, I drive down I-94 and I'm like, hey, you're in close to my lane.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
too close to me now. I have a child. I have
Have
a
you
child
ever
to live for.
Had dairy outside of your house? Also a fun little challenge. Like
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. Is
Where's
like,
the closest bathroom?
yeah, like that's as close as I get to cheating death every day.
Amen. Someday she doesn't work for her.
No,
Just
doesn't.
saying.
Someday we lose. Someday we gamble and we lose. The house wins.
Okay, Mike, you were telling me about this this movie.
I am super pumped. And we all kind of related to this and got very excited about this years ago. Like right when the show started. I don't remember what prompted this, but there's been talk about The Devil in the White City book that is going to be turned into a movie. Now, it was a documentary back. They did once the book came out, they did a little documentary. Then there was all this talk about, okay, who's going to do it? Now, Leonardo DiCaprio bought the rights for this film back in 2010. Then it kind of went away. Then Hulu brought up this idea a few years ago of doing a series, Keanu Reeves in talks to star in it. That fell through. Well, now I am happy to report it is back on once again. Martin Scorsese, though, will be directing it, reviving it, or at least producing it, and he's in talks for Leonardo DiCaprio to star in it once again. For those who don't know, this is the story of H.H. Holmes, the serial killer that during the World's Fair took this old abandoned building, turned it into a hotel where he then invited people that were going to be in Chicago for the World's Fair to the hotel. It was like a maze of death traps and torture devices and just a bizarre situation. He had kept firing different people who worked on it. You guys can talk a little bit more about it. I know you read the book.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite books. Whenever anyone's like, what should I get into? This is my number one recommendation because it's an easy but fun read. What's really cool is they have two stories going on, and they don't have anything to do with each other, but they do. One's just giving you a layout of the landscape and why this man got what World's Fair was and people flocking to the city of Chicago to find jobs. Mm-hmm. And the other one is about this serial killer who is getting away with it. And because of the landscape and everything going on, it's why H.H. Holmes went so long without being at all even accused of murder. It's such a fun book, and it's all set in fact. It's so good.
I've had it on my shelf from Brittany for about 5 months.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it, though. I really am going to read it because, and I mean, I think this brings up such a good point. I know in like an hour we're going to chat about this, because this book sounds like the perfect book to make into a movie.
I know. A series would have been really good too, though.
Oh, yeah. We're into those miniseries now.
But if you're going to make a movie, my favorite movie of all time is The Departed. Again,
Yes.
Scorsese and Leo.
Scorsese, yeah.
Wolf of Wall
Yes.
Street, Gangs of New York,
Yes.
Shutter Island,
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
I
These
trust.
guys are going to kill this, and I'm so excited.
We trust and
That's so
believe.
true.
We're giving you our baby, which is The Devil in the White City.
It's so true. If I had a book that, I have several books that I'm obsessed with, and they were so Scorsese and Leo are involved, I would lose my mind.
I would let them watch Go-Go so they can go ahead and make a movie.
Go ahead.